Yo, and what is going on YouTube, and welcome back for another Powershifter Oathbreaker video, where we take our streamlined competitive Oathbreaker decks and add a 10 card sideboard to take them to more casual and fun builds. Now today, as promised from last time, we are looking at Wrenn and Six and crop rotation. Now this is an extremely popular combination. Wrenn and Six, for a red and a green, he enters the battlefield with 3 loyalty counters. He can +1 to return a target land from our graveyard to our hand. He can -1 to deal 1 damage to any target, and his -7 gives us an emblem with instant and sorcery cards on our graveyard have retrace. Now our signature spell here, crop rotation, as an additional cost to cast crop rotation for a single green mana, we get to sacrifice a land and search our library for a land card and put it onto the battlefield. Then we shuffle our library. Now this is giving us the ability to utilize these lands entering and leaving the battlefield to gain a lot of leverage on the field. You know, we're getting multiple activations of landfall triggers with crop rotation. We're able to utilize Wrenn as a recycler of our lands with crop rotation, sacrificing and then returning those lands to hand with Wrenn and Six. And then crop rotation also gives us those triggers from multiple land drops. Now, you know, you think of anything like Titania, where we're going to have a land enter the battlefield. We're going to sack it away, we're going to get that trigger from a land going to the graveyard, and then we're able to get that that land back with Wrenn and Six and possibly, you know, lay another land. Now, why does this deck function so well together? Now, really what we're looking at here is the different power levels at which this deck can function. Wrenn and Six with crop rotation together, they have a lot of different tiers of how you could really utilize this combination. Now, the first and highest power that I can think of is Dark Depths combo. Now, Dark Depths is a land that enters battlefield with 10 ice counters on it, but you have to pay 3 mana each time to remove an ice counter from Dark Depths, so potentially paying 30 mana to take off these counters to make a 20/20 Merit Lodge flying indestructible token. But the combo here is that you get Thespian Stage. You have Thespian Stage become a combo of the Dark Depths. It becomes just a copy of the land with no counters on it, and you instantly have the 20/20 token. Now, with crop rotation, this is extremely fast to assemble because you can just go get the exact lands that you need. Now, if we're going to start looking at something that's maybe on a more mild power level, I would suggest looking at the Valakut plan. Now, you do only have so many mountains in here because you are running a 2-color deck, but still, this is a super viable plan with the ways that you can put lands into your graveyard and then get them all back at once. You know, you could possibly be Valakutting 1 or 2 people at least, aside from your other strategies in your deck. But now a little lower power level is maybe going to get Field of the Dead and start cooking up 2/2 zombies, or maybe you just need a Field of Ruin to get rid of someone else's troublesome land. But now, as we look at our more streamlined competitive approach, what cards are we removing? You know, we're going to take out those guys that give us multiple land drops per turn. Azusa, Oracle of Moldiah, Primetime, and also Burgeoning. Burgeoning is kind of one that, you know, we're going to get just so many land drops from whenever our opponents lay a land. You know, these kind of reduce the power overall and the speed. We're also going to take away our land destruction recursion with Strip Mine, because just with Wrenn and Six, this can be very it is very powerful just because you can take away, you know, resources from others really quickly. We're going to take away some of our graveyard access through Crucible of Worlds. We do have another way to get access to our creatures, or our lands, sorry, in the graveyard in here. The damage reducers. Now, these are 2 of the most powerful cards in this deck, I think. Constant Miss and Glacial Chasm. Glacial Chasm extremely, because you can essentially create a lock with Wrenn and Six and Glacial Chasm. Now, we're also going to take out the Dark Depths combo lands of our more competitive streamlined approach. Now, just looking at this list of cards, you'd probably wonder, what exactly are we bringing in to make this land synergy deck more flavorful and fun. Now we're going to bring in the Valakut land plan. So we're going to replace those lands that we're taking out with Valakut and a few mountains just to give us that extra ability to kind of, lightning bolt someone to the face with a mountain. We're also going to bring in some mass token generation. We have a lot of creatures in here that have landfall triggers. So running Parallel Lives, as well as running Omnath Locus of Rage and Zendikar's Royal, we're going to get tons and tons and tons of tokens, and this is just a good way to go wide on the board and then swing in for lethal damage. We're also going to bring in a couple guys that also put extra lands onto the battlefield, but there's a little bit more of a struggle to do so. Llanowar Scout and Sakura Tribe Scout, you can tap either of them to put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. We're also going to bring in another creature that has some synergies with lands going to the graveyard. Turn time Sibber, whenever one or more of our lands go to the graveyard from anywhere, we get to create a 0/1 plant creature token. So we get this nice little blocker, but we can also pay a green and sack 3 creatures to return a target land from our graveyard to our hand. So, you would sack your lands, get all of these plant tokens, pay a green, sacrifice 3 plant tokens, able to get a land back. But this is kind of the synergy around this more flavorful build, and it's actually extremely fun. I've actually not had so much fun making these tokens in a long time. It was really fun to just go wide. But guys, I do have some closing thoughts for Oathbreaker for you today. As always, I want you to be social. Schedule weekly nights with your friends to play Oathbreaker in your community. Now reach out to your local game shop. Maybe they have somewhere where you can set up your PlayStation, and be generous. If someone misplays, go ahead and let them correct their play. We want to encourage you guys to try to learn as much as you can about this game. Think about your lines. How can you get those to work properly? Be inclusive. If someone at your local game store is interested in Oathbreaker, maybe invite them to your next game night and loan them a deck if you can. Odds are you do have more than one at this point. Guys, for next time, we're going to look at Nicol Bolas, Dragon God with the Elder Spell. Now, this is a super popular combo. It's going to be extremely fun. I've had fun with Nicol Bolas and Elder Spell in the past, but we're going to start working on a more casual and flavorful build with Nicol Bolas, and I'm really looking forward to that. As always, guys, make sure to hit that like and the subscribe button, because what else you gonna do? I'll check you guys later.